Hello there, Ultireaper here. So before we get to the actual commentary, I'd like to get a few things out of the way once again. Okay, so just general warning, as always, because people tend to get upset sometimes. Commentary probably has swearing and opinions that people probably will not agree with, and honestly a fair amount of awkwardness, probably. Anyway, to anybody who hasn't seen the other two that I'm uploading at the same time as this, these were recorded like 2 years ago, and I didn't upload them because of stage fright and concerns about their quality or whatever. Just gonna see what people's opinions on them are. And also there's going to be like a moving background, because I heard a while ago that like you need one or else it'll get taken down due to copyright, so probably gonna have like Mega Man or something playing in the background. If that is or was never a thing, please go ahead and make me aware of that, because I'm gonna keep doing it otherwise. So with all that in mind, hope you enjoy the commentary.
Okay, so back for Season 5, Episode 8 of MLP. Friend to his magic. And, yeah. I said I didn't know anything about this episode. I loaded it up, I saw the title, and I immediately knew what this episode was about. I remembered, because I got spoiled on most of this stuff. Yeah, Griffins and Gilda's coming back. Hey. Okay, I'm just gonna be blunt here. I fucking hate Gilda. I don't care what this episode does, it can't redeem her in my eyes. The Mentally Advanced series tried to do that. It helped. It didn't redeem her. No, I'm not talking about negative Mentally Advanced Gilda, because that one's just kind of for me. I'm talking about the one voiced by Smeg. No, that one. Episode 3? 3. Episode 3 Gilda. It's good stuff. Good episode. Not the best episode of the series. That was 23? 23. But yeah. Anyway, this. Oh, hey, Gummy. Haven't seen you in a while, I think. Oh, you reacted.
We have absolutely nothing to do today except...
And go to Griffonstone.
It's gonna be amazing!
Sure it is.
Let's see. Nutty meringue, chocolate ganache, praline and nuts, cocoa flavored buttercream. An hour per layer. That's 15 hours of pure baking bliss! Okay, Gummy, I think we're ready to start prepping the second layer. Oh my gosh, my cutie mark! You know what this means?
Get a vibrator in your butt?
Map.
Yeah, because that's actually a thing.
Gummy, could you take over for a bit? Hopefully this will be quick. I'll just measure the baking powder for you. And when the first layer cools, you can drizzle some of the ganache over it. And don't forget to beat the egg whites for the meringue!
Huh, I think it's the first time we ever saw him from the front.
I know you can do this, Gummy. You're the best alligator baker I've ever met.
I really want them to... Aww. I really want them to come back and just... Gummy has made the entire thing with no problems whatsoever. I know that won't happen because the show isn't funny, but you know... It'd be amusing. It'd be like, oh. Well, not anymore, because I want it to happen, so I'd be expecting it. And I'm not expecting it, but like, it's in my mind, like it's not something that would completely surprise me. So like, oh hey, I was right. Not, oh hey, that's a thing! You know. Why are Snips and Snails even in that? Are they like minor villains.
This is so exciting. The map is summoning you to Griffonstone.
Oh,
The very heart of the
just
Griffin Kingdom.
Pinky and
I
Dash.
have read bygone Griffins of greatness, but Griffins were known to be rude, insensitive bullies.
Wait, where is it?
You mean Gilda? Yeah, I mean Gilda.
Yay!
When she came to Ponyville, she was a total jerk to all my friends, especially Pinkie Pie. She was a bit of a party pooper.
Yes. Yes.
Maybe Gilda was a
Keep
little
calling her
weird.
out.
You still get to go to Griffonstone, and
Okay.
according to this book, it has a rich,
This
fascinating history.
Griffonstone.
In ancient times, griffins were known to be as greedy as dragons, always hoarding their bits and other treasures. But all that changed when King Grover found the mysterious golden idol of Boreas. Legend says the idol of Boreas was made from the dust of golden sunsets, blown across the mountains by the north winds. Possessing the idol of Boreas filled the griffins' hearts with pride. It's said that that one great treasure is responsible for turning Griffonstone into the most majestic kingdom of all the land. And why do you care so much about griffins anyway? It was actually Gilda's visit
Does
that
they have
made me
fingers?
curious. So I picked up bygone griffins of greatness, and I've been hooked
Yep,
ever
sounds
since.
about right.
And now you two get to see Griffonstone with your very own eyes.
Couldn't you go too, Twilight?
Hey, you can totally take my place if you want. I still had half a nap.
Like, is there a rule somewhere?
Come with us. I mean, you are the princess of friendship.
Honestly, why?
No. If the map wanted me to go to the coolest kingdom in all of Equestria and tour the palace,
Yeah,
and see
about
the
that.
actual idol that unites an entire species, which would be super amazing, I'm sure it would have said so.
Oh.
You two can handle whatever the issue is.
So anyway, why is the map like
Do
sentient?
important princessy things, I guess. Well then, come
Oh
on,
yeah,
Dad.
princess
We're going to
things. 'Cause
Griffonstone.
I don't mind the Alicorn thing, but Twilight being a princess, it's like, why is she a princess? Oh yeah, because Hasbro wants her to be. Because little girls buy princess toys. It's like, that's the only reason. She doesn't even have any princess duties. It's like,
Twilight literally wrote
Okay.
a book on what we need to do in Griffonstone. You mean like
badly
a guide on how to figure out what
put.
problem we're supposed to fix? And
That
then
mission's really nice.
it's like Twilight herself in book form. Always carry plenty of bits. The Griffins are sure to help you as long as you share the weight.
Oh, that's a terrible impression. Is Pinky just rich? She always has so much money.
Upon arriving at Griffin Gorge, be sure to pause and cast your eyes northerly.
Is her
outside the
family
Golden Mountain,
Amish?
Taking in the breathtaking beauty of Griffonstone.
Why is she so rich?
Griffonstone proper. Go immediately to the palace and introduce yourself
She's
to
a
the king.
fucking baker
Bygone Griffins of Greatness was written a long time ago, and it
in a
ends with
small
the
country town.
King of the Griffins, King Guto.
Well, it's
I
not
have
small
no
anymore,
idea who's in
actually.
charge now. Tell the king you've been sent by the Princess of Friendship, and you're there to help with some sort of problem. If for some reason the king can't help, I'd try the Griffonstone Library next. It's a little-known secret that if you befriend a librarian, you can usually find out anything. Plus, as a bonus, there's a statue of King Grover outside. Photo op! And don't forget to sample some famous Griffin scones. They're supposed to be the best.
Yeah, Dash is just gonna take out her smartphone and take a picture next to the statue.
Griffonstone is a total dump.
Looks nice to me. Well, maybe not.
Maybe the map should have called rarity instead
Gambling! Also, new Griffin models.
This is Griffonstone, right?
Cool.
That wasn't very nice. See? These griffins are exactly what I thought they'd be. Maybe we should just find the palace so we can ask the king what's going on.
The Griffins.
We don't have a king. Losers.
Oh, fuck.
Hello, Gilda. Dash.
Why does she live in the capital?
What are you doing here? I'm a griffin? What's your excuse, dweebs? Hey! These dweebs
Oh,
are
God.
Help it what? Well,
Also, her voice sounds different.
sure, but it involves
Same voice actor, definitely, but...
problem and bored now. Well, if you don't have a king, can you at least tell us where the idol of Boreas is? Don't tell me you really believe in that thing.
You'd better believe in it.
Ooh. Yeah, looks like a vulture. I like him.
The idol was the best thing to ever happen to us Griffins.
great. Now you got Grandpa Gruff started.
Is that her grandfather?
The whole tragic tale.
Hey, beat your granddaughter. She's a brat. I'd pay for that.
The first Griffin King, King Grover, united our kind like we've never been united before or since. And he did it all with that incredible idol of Boreas.
Gilda, don't be funny. You're not allowed to be endearing.
Every Griffin that saw it. From one king to the next, Griffonstone and our golden idol were the envy of all other species. It held us together, gave us an identity, right up until the reign of King Guto. That's when our Aramaspi came to steal our Griffin treasure. King Guto tried to fight him off, but our Aramaspi managed to get away with the idol. They say when our treasure fell into the abysmal abyss, our pride went with it. King Guto was the last king of Griffonstone, and we all lived miserably ever after. The end!
That was the saddest story ever.
Oh, well, stop paying for those! No refunds!
You said that before,
What if
hasn't
Twilight
she?
book ended with the coronation of King Guto? Who would want to record a history that sad? It's not sad. Do we look sad to you?
Yes.
Pinky, I think I know why the map sent us here. We need to find the Idol of Boreas and bring glory and pride back to Griffonstone. Haha, here we go. Typical pony hero complex. None of us care about that dumb old idol. Don't you get it? We don't care
Can't believe I'm
about
saying this,
anything. And
but
that's the way we
Gilda's
like it.
got a point about the
Rainbow
hero
Dash is
complex
right.
thing.
The map sent us here to fix some sort of problem. The only problem Griffonstone has is you!
I mean, Pinky's not even being annoying this episode. Come on, don't be a dick.
Well, I don't care what
Like you always are.
We're gonna find that treasure, make Griffonstone cool again, and get back to Ponyville. Come on! Wait, Rainbow Dash, what about Twilight's advice? What, taking a bunch of pictures? She mentioned finding answers at the library. Knock yourself out. But when you get bored with Twilight's tour book, I'll be at the Abysmal Abyss finding the Idol of Boreas.
So if she puts out rainbows behind her, and rainbows are created from light, does that mean she can light up the dark by flying?
I'll need some rope, a grappling hook, and a guide to take me down to the Abysmal Abyss.
And I'll need some bits.
It's a shop dash.
Hey, Gilda!
Well, as great as that pace was,
Griffonstone has an amazing library
you should have expected
full of
that.
answers. Word on what street? Okay, maybe not this street, but on other streets, your library is the talk of the town. The library's right there, so why don't you go inside and leave me alone?
Okay, seriously though, what crawled up her butt? Like, I think she's worse.
Maybe it's good that Twilight didn't come. It's sad what happened to your town, King, but Rainbow Dash can't be right. This can't all be because of a missing hunk of gold. You're right, Pinky, and you've got amazing hair. Ah, King Grover, you old charmer.
You know, Pinky, that was creepy. Wait, did Pinky just suggest that she's into Griffins?
Ponies? A song! I've got a super song about smiling that's sure to make even the most grumpy Griffin grin. Can't sing
Probably
here.
not.
But
Seriously?
break into uplifting musical numbers
There's-
with no singing.
Yeah, that's Griffonstone's biggest problem. Lack of uplifting musical numbers.
Well, if
To
I
be
can't sing,
fair,
how
like,
about a party?
Magical Mystery Cure kind of proved that those things kind of help.
No party store? How about cake? Nothing cheers folks up like cake. Where's the bakery? Ugh. No singing, no
So how are the rules if there's no king?
party.
Like, there's no government.
To leave at any time.
Did I just hear season 1
Take
music?
the cake. Wait, no, I can't take the cake because there is no cake or muffins or Griffonstone.
Oh man, even Eagletown had muffins.
That's my specialty.
I'll buy one.
Wait,
Bits
what?
first. Well? What? You like it? That's my Grandpa Gruff's secret recipe.
Ow! I think I broke a tooth.
Well, whatever. No refunds. I don't even care anyway. I just want to sell enough of these so I can leave this lousy town.
I can help you with that.
And then she regrew all her teeth because
You
magic.
think you could tighten the strap on my helmet?
Can you give me more bits? Never mind. I got it.
So, how deep is this abyss?
How deep are your pockets?
Don't you Griffins ever talk about anything but bits?
Give me some bits and I'll answer. No wonder Gilda's such a delight.
So why wasn't Gilda so greedy then?
But it's missing one important ingredient.
Don't tell me.
And also,
Friendship.
I thought dragons were greedier than this.
Baking powder. Lucky for you, I never leave home without it. Now just pop those in the oven and you'll have Griffonstones worth their weight in gold.
Those were acorns on top.
Greta! Aha! I saw that, Gilda! You may act like a gruff, grumbling griffin, but inside you're gracious and great.
What are you talking about?
You just helped your friend up when she got knocked down.
What? Her? Greta's just some griffin I know. We don't have friends here. I did have a friend once.
But then you
Saw how
were...
that turned out.
Yeah, 'cause you were a fucking dick!
Oh my gosh! I gotta go find Rainbow Dash!
See ya.
Why? Because if Rainbow Dash apologizes for that episode, I'm going to never forgive this episode.
Whoa.
I mean,
Never mind.
Rainbow Dash was in the right in that.
There.
Completely in the right. Gilda was a fucking asshole.
Find that golden idol and get out of this place.
Oh, that's gonna happen. You have wings? Alright, wind.
My hoof! Help! Throw me another rope!
You got bits?
Wow.
Wait!
Good job being a bitch. Hey, you got money now. Well, fucking die then. Seriously though, like, you can fly. You don't need a leg. Even then, you can walk on 3. Nope. You can walk on 2 and it wouldn't kill you.
I figured out how to solve Griffonstone's real problem! Scum!
Piggy Pie, you get back here!
Yeah? Can you throw down a rope or something? Let me look!
By the way, Pinky, good job on not being annoying.
We need help! Don't go anywhere!
Yeah, go get
Where does she
Gilda.
think I'm gonna go? I hope I don't go anywhere.
Rainbow Dash is stuck on a
They're
rope.
carnivores, why?
And I need your help to save her!
Not my problem.
Of course it's your problem!
What do they
She's your
eat?
friend.
Used to be.
Can't you remember when she was?
Yeah, I'm sure they go hunting for something.
Yeah, of course.
Alright, that's cool. Oh hey, it's the cutest bitch.
Doesn't that griffin know that she's supposed to fly at the Junior Speedster's flight camp?
I'm honestly surprised they got his voice actor back.
Make you look bad. Hey there,
Like,
I'm Rainbow
that's
Dash.
just strange pull for such a small thing.
Gilda, you sure about that? Stick with me, Gilda.
Okay, what happened?
Those guys won't give you any more guts.
Gilda apparently used to be good? I swear, if this makes it out to be that this is Dash's fault, I'm never don't.
Well, Gilda, let's show these guys how it's done.
I should.
Junior Speedsters are our lives. Skybound swords and daring dives. Junior Speedsters, it's our quest to someday be the very best.
Fine, I'll help her. But that doesn't make me her friend.
Duly noted. Except it does.
Stop breaking the fourth wall. It's not funny.
Hang on, loser.
Fucking Fannin getting into the cannon.
Doofus.
It can be done right. That's not doing it right. It's a thing that only exists because it exists in the Fannin, and it didn't exist previously. It's a thing that was made up out of an exaggerate. God. Oh, that's cool.
The Idol of Glorious. I'm slipping.
No offense, but as much as I like Rainbow Dash, it's like she can fly. Just when's even going up? Like seriously, like grab that. It's for your people.
The idol. You're more important to me than some dumb chunk of gold.
Well, that sounded really weird. And now we're in limbo.
I'm really sorry about how I treated you two. Thanks, Gilda. Apology accepted.
I'm just sorry we didn't get your idol back. Now we'll never be able to solve Griffonstone's problem.
That's what I was trying
This
to
Gilda's better in this episode than wait. This episode almost yeah, wow, it's almost over.
replace it with something better.
Nothing's better than gold to a griffin.
That's because you don't have
Diamonds.
If you can learn to care about each other again, Griffonstone could be a mightier kingdom than it ever was before. And you don't need some golden idol to do that. You just need each other.
Whoa, Pinky.
Or a solid gold griffin
What can I say? That's how
that
it
talks.
Go on, Gilda. Go make a friend.
Time to get building the golden robot.
I don't know, Pinky.
This is gonna be
You really
painful.
think these griffins are up for this? We aren't exactly in Ponyville, you know. Okay, so she was really weirded out until I gave her the scone. Then she tried it and said it tasted good. That's the first nice thing any griffin's ever said to me. Whoa,
So what was up with
guess that really was the problem we needed to solve.
Gurga?
Big bits and friendships, fluffy and delicious.
That's not funny.
Well, we better be heading home.
That's not funny anyway.
You want me to spread friendship here by myself?
That was his name.
I haven't even made one single friend yet. No, you
Gurga.
You've made
Gustav. That guy.
But you'll come back and visit.
Why wasn't that guy super greedy?
Just
Anyway?
try and stop us.
This is not consistent.
See you later, you old charmer.
Pinky, who are you talking to?
No, Pony. Come on, let's go home and see how Gummy did with Granny Pie's marmalade recipe.
Hopefully, really well. See why I wasn't expecting anything? Anyway. It was an episode. That's what I have to say about it. It was an episode. Nice world building, even though it was inconsistent world building. Because they retconned some shit. Even though they were referencing the stuff they were retconning. Whatever, that's that. I'm done.
Okay, so now that the commentary is over, let's move on to that discussion review section. Okay, so at one point I said that Twilight didn't have any princess duties, and as I stated in my episode 7 discussion review section, she does have duties. I just missed that beforehand, because I was talking. Oh, I was saying the whole like beat your granddaughter thing. Yeah, I'm just gonna apologize for that. That was a bit far. Sorry. Oh, I kept saying Rainbow Dash should just fly up because the wind was like moving up, but she tried that and it didn't work. So don't really know why I kept saying that. She really should have just walked up the cliff though, because like it was pushing her into the cliff. Like the reason she couldn't fly is because she was getting pushed up into the cliff. But she couldn't. But if it was pushing her up into it, and that's the reason she couldn't fly up, because again the air was pushing up. Couldn't she just walk up? I mean, yeah, that was a little. Yeah, she probably just walked up. By the way, if the syncing is off in the episode over in the corner, if it's off with the audio or if it's a little weird or something, I'm sorry about that. I'm having some technical difficulties while editing that together. Sorry. Okay. So Twilight said that the statue of Grover would be a photo op? Quote unquote photo op? Can't help but feel that in a world where cameras are uncommon amongst anyone who isn't a photographer, that's great. I just don't see how the term photo op would come to be in a world like that. Maybe she picked it up when she was over in the quote-unquote human world? I'm just glad she didn't say selfie. That's pretty point. Oh. Confirmed that Griffin names start with G, because all his Griffin names started with G. Up until now we only had 2 named Griffins, I believe. And 2 isn't really enough to say it's a pattern. It could just be a coincidence. Okay, so they retconned it so that Gilda was always greedy. They were also referencing that episode. And also referencing the episode where she showed up at first, where she wasn't super greedy, so it's a little confusing because you can't really reference something and then like, okay, so here's the thing, you're retconning that episode so that you're like, oh no, she was always like this. Just pretend she was always like that in that episode. Well, if you have a new viewer that sees this episode and it's like, oh, I want to see the episode that she was in, and then goes and watches it and she's not like that, it's weird, because you shouldn't reference something while you're retconning it. It makes a very confusing timeline, and honestly, really the only real solution to that is to just say that Gilda was super out of character in this episode, which kind of culminates in the part where Gilda, I forget what she says exactly, but she was like saying something about how like Rainbow Dash is more important to her than the goblet or whatever. and that the voice acting on that was super weird. Like the actress did just not know what to do with that line. Like it was like so wildly out of character that she couldn't picture how the character would say the line, so she couldn't really get it down all that well because that was wildly out of character. So yeah, if you hear some like white noise in the background, I couldn't do anything about that, sorry. So literally after I stopped the recording on the discussion portion, I remembered that I didn't even give my thoughts on the episode. So yeah, it was, it was fine. I appreciate its attempt at world building, because again, it was kind of inconsistent world building. It was, here's the history of the Griffins, and they were all greedy. But the two that, in fact, we saw technically more than two by this point. None of them had been anywhere near that greedy. In fact, I wouldn't really call any of them greedy at all. Maybe Gustav. Not really, though. So it just kind of ends up being an attempt at world building, but it's sort of like that time in Doctor Who where they gave like a thing about how the Daleks see the Doctor after like 50 years, and that entire explanation going against those entire 50 years of like explanation on them. It's like, oh yeah, here's some world building. But that world building is inconsistent with everything we've learned up to this point. It's world building, though. It's... I like world building. I think one of the reasons I even got into this show in the first place was it had a really interesting world. Like, I enjoyed the characters and music and all that. But it had a very interesting world, too. And when you go ahead and take that world, and then you try and expand upon it by giving the information that is inconsistent with the world that already is there, it just kind of fails. Also, the whole Gilda thing. Yeah, it kind of failed at redeeming her, because, as I stated in the review discussions portion, she's kind of out of character. Wildly out of character, really. When you have to make a character out of character to make them redeemable, it's not a good sign. I think my least favorite episode of season 1 was Griffin the Brush-Off. Like, she was just awful. Like, she made me every single... I have seen the entirety of season 5. Season 5? No? Season 1, like 50 or 60 times. Like, that isn't an exaggeration or a joke. That is a legitimate fact. And, well, that means I've seen that episode that many times. And every time I started to watch that season over again, I would get 4 episodes in, and then look at the title of the 5th one, and then just groan and think, this was a mistake, I shouldn't do this. I hate that episode. I just don't like it. And it's entirely because of Gilda. I do not like her. I do not like her at all. She's obnoxious for one thing, but on top of that, she speaks with dialogue that is just so cringy. Like, it is like a 90s bully. It is... I just do not like her character. And so they're attempting to redeem the character I just do not like. They're trying to make me like her, trying to make me think she's good. That didn't work. And her redemption scene is so poorly written that the actress could not figure out how to portray the character. Because... But... Or at least I assume that's what happened, but... it just did not work. I've seen some commentaries to this that, like, oh good, she's redeemed now. Oh, that was a really good redemption arc, and I do not agree with that at all. It was very poorly done. I hope she never. I hope Gilda never shows up again. If she does, I don't know what they're gonna do with her because they didn't properly redeem her. So I'm either going to have to just sit there and do what I did with Sunset Shimmer and just be like, oh yeah, no, just pretend that didn't happen. Pretend she was always good. Pretend that entire redemption arc was better. Gonna have to pretend something was different so that I can accept that. I don't even know what they would do with her if they brought her back. See, I'm just gonna put this somewhere in that review discussion section. So yeah, back to that. See, that's about all I have to say here, but to reiterate what I said back in the first commentary, review section thing. I'm gonna be putting episodes 6, 7, and 8, I believe, up all at the same time. I'm just trying to test the waters and see how people feel about these. If they like them, I'll keep putting up more because I have the entirety of the second half of Season 5 recorded. I haven't seen anything past that, so I'll just keep putting those up and then record more. People like them, so I'd appreciate feedback on that. And one more thing, like I just said, I recorded the entirety of the second half of Season 5. This is not the end of the first half. Episodes 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. I did not record because at the time I had recorded these 3, but I didn't listen or whatever to them, or watch or anything. I didn't listen or watch them after I recorded them. I just recorded them and then was like, oh man, those were garbage. That's not worth my time. And then I went and watched the next couple episodes. And then I was looking through my files one day, stumbled across them, and decided, I'm gonna edit these together and see how they turned out. And they weren't completely awful like I thought they were, so yeah. If you'd like me to do some reviews or something of those episodes that I missed, just tell me and I'll record I'll just record some discussion things for those and do those. If you want me to continue these anyway, because obviously I'm not going to do that if I'm not going to keep doing these commentaries. Well, yeah, just tell me if you want me to do that. All that said, I hope you enjoyed the commentary, and might see you in the next video if I keep doing these. Done.